Hey everyone, how's it going? Stammer6 here with a little Red Alert 3 video for you. Today I'm going to be showcasing the Allied Cryo-Rush strategy. Like most rushes, the Cryo-Rush is a bit of a gamble since you're going to be throwing all your eggs into one basket. If your opponent sees it coming, you're going to be at a pretty big disadvantage, though if the enemy doesn't see it coming, you're going to be at a pretty huge advantage. The optimal build order for this strategy begins with a power plant, a refinery, airfield, and then heightened clearance to get you to tier 2. You can also build some walls in the meantime, though they're not really necessary. Though against the Soviets, I would recommend building them anyway, just to keep the terror drones at bay. Also, don't forget to get the advanced aeronautics upgrades, since that's going to improve your aircraft's defense, sight range, and most importantly, ammo capacity. Once your airfield's built, queue up an Apollo fighter and a Vindicator. And once the Vindicator is about a quarter finished, your tier 2 should be ready. Pause the Vindicator and queue up your Cryocopter. And once the Cryocopter is built, finish off your Vindicator and start harassing the enemy. If you're going up against the Soviets, the Apollo fighter isn't really all that necessary since they don't have access to aircraft this early on in the match. But in that case, you're going to want to start off with a Vindicator and then a Cryocopter, though send both in at the same time, or at the very least the Cryocopter first, since you're going to need to start freezing the enemy collectors. Now, this strategy may seem a little bit cheap, but trust me when I say that all three factions can counter it. All three factions can simply build a couple barracks and start spamming you with like a ton of tier 1 infantry. Since Vindicators can only drop up to 3 bombs at any given run, you can easily overwhelm them with just sheer numbers of infantry. The Allies can also utilize a different strategy in that you can build an airfield similar to this strategy, but instead of building a Vindicator and an Apollo fighter, build 2 Apollo fighters and you'll be knocking them out of the sky. As for the Empire, you can build some burst drones if the enemy isn't building Apollo fighters, and you can easily keep them at bay with just self-destructing drones. Though in any case, probably your best option is to go straight for a Mecha Bay and start spamming Mecha Tengu, because not only are they going to be really useful at taking out the enemy aircraft, but they're also going to be really useful throughout the entire fight no matter what anyway. Now, since you only need one point of damage to destroy any frozen structure, you're a lot better off just using 1 bomb at a time with a Vindicator, and typically they'll drop all 3 bombs with one go, but with a little bit of careful micromanagement, you can make them drop just 1 at a time. And you can do this by telling them to hover over top of the building or unit and hit with the G key to force move. And then when he gets over top and the structure or unit is frozen, like so, tell him to drop the bomb by right-clicking, and then just wait just half a second, a quarter second, give or take, and hit the S key, and he'll drop just 1 bomb at a time. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it's totally worth being able to drop just 1 bomb at a time. And as you saw there, I dropped 2 bombs, and the reason why you might want to do that is because not only will that destroy the frozen structure, but it'll also destroy the infantry hiding underneath it. But whether or not the tier 1 infantry is worth the extra bomb is totally up to you. If your opponent does start utilizing a bunch of anti-air, be sure to use the Cryocopter's shrink beam to lower their defense and offense significantly. You can even use it on Mecha Tengu. Just make sure that you use it while they're on the ground in their mecha form, because you can't hit aircraft with it. As you can see here, Giles isn't exactly faring too well. The AI doesn't do a very good job of countering this, but don't give any quarter to human opponents, because they will adapt. And anytime your human opponent starts countering you, lay off the attack instead of spending all your time in the enemy base. Just use this squadron of aircraft and instead just start making like picking attacks at them with small controlled harassment. since a defensive opponent will usually beat an offensive strategy, but you can utilize their defensive position by expanding and teching up and doing a bunch of other stuff like that. And of course, here we go, Giles dead in about 5 minutes. Didn't kill a single one of my units. Oh well, poor guy. Well, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you on the battlefield.